Mary Anne. Okay, fellow Toastmasters, our speaker today is Mary Anne Burrows, DTM, and Mary Anne will share a story of good news, bad news, and how she overcame a challenging situation. Please welcome Mary Anne Burrows. She will be doing a speech that's 5 to 7 minutes, and she will be doing a speech that from her effective coaching pathways, level number 3, and it's to create an effective visual aid. The purpose of this project is to practice selecting and using a variety of visual aids during a speech. And the name of the speech is, Can You Teach an Old Dog New Tricks? Let me reiterate that. Title is, Can You Teach an Old Dog New Tricks? Help me welcome Mary Anne.
Fellow Toastmasters and welcome guests, have you ever received a certified letter? Well, I got one years ago. I wasn't sure if I wanted to open it because once you open it, you're responsible. But curiosity got the best of me. So I opened up the letter and read it. Dear Mary Anne Burrows, congratulations. You have won a 1998 Pontiac Sunfire. Whoa. I ran and showed the letter to my husband, and then I called the number at the bottom of the page. I talked to the salesperson, and he explained that indeed I did win a car, and that the car was at the car dealer, but they could not release the car yet because of some red tape, but that we could come and visit the car anytime we wanted to. Well, that night, I went online to find out what a Pontiac Sunfire was. I had no idea. And this is what she looked like. So the very next day, my husband and I got in the car and drove to the car dealer. When we walked in, the guy at the door said, "Can I help you?" We explained why we were there, and he goes, "Oh, over there." So we walked over to the other area. The salesman shook my hand profusely and congratulated me and told me I was one in a million girls, that there were over 1 million entries in this contest, and I won. He then walked us over to where the car was. Oh man, was she a beauty? Shiny, candy apple red with a spoiler on the back. Something I would never have chosen. He then walked us around the car and told us about all the bells and whistles, rear view defrost and air conditioning and tape deck, all the things a girl who just won a car would want. We chatted for a little while, and then he looked me in the eye and he said, "Oh, by the way, did I tell you it's a stick shift?" "A what? A stick shift? Doesn't he know I'm 50 years old and you can't teach an old dog new tricks?" A stick shift? The ride home was not nearly as much fun. So the very next day, I went to the library and got a book on transmissions. I thought if I could figure out this intellectually, that would help. But driving a stick and an automatic are very different. You see, when you drive an automatic, you get in the car, put the key in, turn it, put your foot on the gas and take off. With a stick shift, you get in, I have 2 feet, there's 3 pedals, and then the stick shifty thing that you have to coordinate with your feet. Oh my gosh. And if you don't do it right, oh my gosh, it makes this horrible noise if you're trying to be in 2 different gears. And if you don't do it right, the car can hop down the road like a rabbit or slide down the hill into the car behind you. And besides that, I could kill somebody with this thing. Well, finally the day came and we got to go pick up the car. Fortunately, my husband does know how to drive a stick. So we drove it home. He parked it in the backyard. Well, felt like a little kid coming down for Christmas morning to look at my toys, and my hands were tied behind my back. I couldn't play with my toy. It was horrible. Now, let me explain. I'm not very mechanically inclined. I'm a perfectionist, and I don't like to make mistakes. So I knew this was going to be quite the challenge for me. So I decided I was going to do this differently than I ever did anything in my life. And I was going to be very gentle with myself. I was going to keep on hacking away at this until I figured out how to do it. Now, my husband was my instructor. You can imagine how much fun that was. And some days we would go out and we would drive for a long time and everything went just fine. Other days, the lesson lasted about 10 minutes and it was done for the day. One day, we were at the Metro Parks driving along, and my husband suggested that we go up Stitchcomb, which is a fairly good-sized hill. Halfway up the hill, my car stalled. I panicked. My husband pulled on the emergency brake, and then he and I switched places, and he drove the car all the rest of the way home. That's how my lessons went. Now, at this point, people were starting to say, "Are you sure you want a car?" But I kept at it. And then one day I said to my husband, "I think I want to do this on my own a little bit. Just drive around in some of the quiet city streets near my neighborhood and get a feel for this on my own." And that went on for a couple of weeks. And then one day I woke up and I knew I was ready. I put on my jacket. Look out, Mario Andretti. Here comes Mary Anne Burrows. I grabbed my keys, drove to the entrance of I-90, paused, took a deep breath, and then began to shift. And I took off down the road, never to look back again. And that, my friends, was the day that I learned that indeed you can teach an old dog new tricks, no matter how long it takes. Madam Toastmaster.
Actually, I'm a mister, but I'll take it.
Oh,